right, welcome to Manifest Business. Here at the Tiny Giant Life, we want to create a lifestyle that is basically bringing us freedom, bringing us a better life, making our life better every year, regardless of the cooties or the crazy turd chunking going on between countries. We don't want to be just one of the monkeys. We want to become more. We want to be able to choose what we do with our time and our life. And to that end, we teach three primary principles. Of course, this video as it relates to being able to create the value or the money that we need to have what we want in our life and to build our life. The second one being to build aircrete houses, or any house for that matter, that's debt-free so that we can live without expense, freeing up our time. And the third is legal, being able to deal lawfully with the situations in our life and to rise above the legal fiction, to operate in fact and truth, and to take control of those situations so they don't just, use us as chattel to be slaughtered and milked for money. And in that, all of this gets wrapped up to create a lifestyle of freedom. Now, this video is an introduction video to one of the sections of the Manifest Business video course that we sell. So, if at any time that you find this interesting or it resonates with you, I invite you to click the link below in the description and learn more. Now, let's get started. This module is actually really cool. We're going to go from zero to paid product in 2 weeks maximum. Honestly, I think that if you just went through these steps, once you learn them, you could probably do these in 4 to 7 days. But we don't want to overload you with new information too quick, so we're just going to be stepping through the entire process from beginning to end to set up a functioning online business, putting money in your hand. Now, when it comes to setting all of this up, I don't want you to just follow along by watching the videos. I want you to really follow along by building a business. As you've already seen, we can set up these businesses for virtually $0. So you should set up multiple businesses. And in this example, I want you, even if you have a product in mind and you already know what you're going to do, I want you to practice the whole process from beginning to end without a product in mind, starting from hopefully a place of divine inspiration. So with that, we start with a meditation. We start with getting into the right space to be able to receive divine inspiration that comes with a good feeling and a complete download and idea, and just follow that all the way through to completion and a functional business that is actually serving others and you at the same time. Now, as a prerequisite to this class, you need to have already done the sections of this course on limiting beliefs and programs, as well as having practiced the meditation portions enough that you can maintain 20 to 40 minutes minimum of meditative clear focus without distraction in thoughts, falling asleep, or self-doubt, or any of those kind of programs that are surfacing. So you need to have dealt with all that before you begin. But of course, if you're the type who just wants to jump in the deep end of the pool having never swum, you can do that, and you can practice as you go, but your results will not be as potent as they are. So, we're going to start with divine inspiration, and we're going to take this all the way through to getting our business set up, and we're going to do the Business Manifest meditation, where literally sales are going to be coming into your business and money is going to be in your bank account, in your hand, just from doing prayerful, spiritual, meditative work. And we will also venture into some paid advertising. So let's take a quick look at the sections that are going to be covered in this chapter. We're going to start with, obviously, as we've said, the inspiration meditation. We're going to receive a divine inspiration. We're going to make sure we're put into a receptive place where we get a download and a good feeling, or we hear something in our environment, or we're reminded of something that ultimately relates back to a good feeling and a high value emotion, a high vibration. We're going to then develop a product idea and describe the value that that product is bringing to other people. We're going to do some market research to know what the value of that product is and what the profit could reasonably be. We're going to learn about the customer who might buy a product like this, starting, of course, with ourselves. If we think it's great, other people are going to, most likely. We're going to do keyword research. That is, we're going to learn the language of our customer, and we're going to communicate in what they need to hear. We're not going to try to sell bicycle rentals downtown to people in wheelchairs. It would be a waste of their time and, quite frankly, a waste of your time. And if you're advertising, it would be an absolute waste, if not a massacre, of your budget. So we're going to learn the language and what it is people seek, and we're going to make sure we know more or less where to find those people, and we're going to put our offer out there using those words. Because after all, to manifest business, we first have to have a product and we have to have a business. And when we open that door with having an online business open, the flow of abundance just comes to us like you would not believe. It is truly miraculous. And I believe a paradigm shift in the way business is done, away from manipulating people and paying for ads, measuring a return on investment, and scaling. Instead, we start from a place that makes our hearts sing and inspires us to live a good and better life, and we bring that to the world and accept a flow of abundance back to us. As we grow into the individuals, removing all of our limiting beliefs so that we can actually grow and become the successful person. Because after all, we don't want to be like the lotto person who wins $5 million and in 2 years is completely broke and homeless because we didn't evolve how we think and what we believe. We don't want to be the person who sabotages our success because we believe that rich people are evil or that the money is the root of all evil, because those kind of beliefs will come back and bite us and sabotage us. So we've solved those issues in the other modules of this course, and we're moving on to pure, blissful, abundant success. We're going to look at the type of business model that we want to choose, and therefore the type of marketing funnel or the steps of somebody becoming aware of you all the way to sales and post-customer support and value-add product. We're going to develop that based on something appropriate to our business. Are we just content marketing? Are we just creating music, entertainment, political speeches? Are we inspiring people? Are we sharing our life journey into off-grid life or travel or living unusually, new trends, new technology? Are we just having an audience that we then can share what we love, and in exchange they will want to buy what you have to offer? They'll want to support you because they value what you're bringing. You're making them feel good. You're giving them a moment away from the world that feels good, and that is valuable. So people will bring that back if you allow it. You could consider that the 1,000 true fans model, where if you have 1,000 people who love what you do, you're going to have a good living. Are you going to trade time for services? Are you going to be self-employed offering services and your time for someone else's money? You can start there. And if that's where your heart is, you should start there. But be aware that trading time for money is going to limit the amount of success you can have. Then there's physical product. Are you manufacturing a product? Are you connecting through affiliate marketing someone else's product to a customer? Are you simply finding products that you can have drop shipped to a customer that are customized a little bit to service a particular niche? Are you gathering up the best of everything and bringing it all together under one roof? Are you manufacturing something? Do you have the tooling for it? Do you have the money to start that up? And then there's the gold standard, digital product, online courses like this one. Any product like a song or a game or an app or a membership service where it reproduces itself automatically while you sleep and while you live your life. And years after you've moved on to greater and better things as you grow, and as you should, that business will just run on autopilot, putting money in your bank account. That's the gold standard, and it continues to perpetuate itself. And if you can, I encourage you to find ways to move in that direction. And there's nothing wrong with putting all of this together under one umbrella. Next up is logo or sigil creation. Now, because we're all about the law of vibration, aka the law of attraction, it is important to really put a high amplitude signal out on what it is you're doing. So whenever you create a brand, if you will, you need a logo or sigil. And I say sigil because it needs to communicate the intent behind what you're doing within your own heart. And it should be easily recognizable by other people so that no matter where they are on the internet, every time they see your symbol, the symbol, it gets recorded in the subconscious and they become familiar with it. And then eventually after seeing your offer enough, it will finally click one day, hey, what is this about? Like they'll actually take it in and mentally process it. And it makes it easier to discern you from someone else in the marketplace because it creates a familiarity. And again, keep it simple and look, I mean, for example, look at Nike, the swoosh. Look at Saturn, the car company. Look at all these other companies that use basically the rings of Saturn. Whether that's for nefarious purposes or religious beliefs, they're communicating something. And even if you don't know it, you do perceive it on a subconscious level, and they know what it means. So your symbol is going to basically carry the energy of your intentions to the world on a different kind of vibrational level. So let's go ahead and customize it and make that effective and easily recognized as we begin to brand our company and our product. Now, again, if this is resonating with you, if you want to learn more about this, and if you want to set up and have your own business running quickly, if you're ready to grow as an individual and you want to manifest business, literally to use the law of attraction and the laws of creation to co-create and open the floodgates of abundance into your life in a way that is completely different from any other way of doing business, then click the link below in the description. I invite you to come learn more because we're running a live class at this time and you get to participate live. You get to help develop this very product. You get to get your questions answered one-on-one. So now is a very opportune time to participate. So click the link below and learn more about how you can get on the fast track to a paradigm shift in doing business and transform your life and establish the foundation of freedom and necessity, need, and desire in your life. Next, having gotten our idea, our product, we have to, of course, have a product to offer, so we need to produce that product. And we're going to need to decide how we're going to legally structure our business. Are you doing business in the public? Are you going to, and that basically means anything that's governmental or registered and under the authority of government. That's what public means. If it's typical banking, if you want to use PayPal and be tattled and reported upon every time you do business, if you want to have high exposure to tax liabilities, you can certainly do that. That's where most businesses go. But there's also the ways of private business. Things like the American Legion, who can serve alcohol outside of normal hours, who can have servers giving alcohol without the normal licenses because they're operating in the private. Or you may have heard of speakeasies, who more or less are operating illegally but lawfully. Like, for example, during the COVID pandemic, they actually had businesses shut down everywhere, but the ones who operated as PMAs could not be touched. And the ones that were are now sitting on millions of dollars in legal rewards of personal lawsuits against the mayors and the governors of their states and all the officials involved in interfering with their private rights. It's a very powerful place to be. And if you're going to set up in the public, you need to draft your charter properly with all the details you need because it's basically your constitution. And it allows you to exchange privately and do unlimited exchanges with members inside of your association. And things like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, are a way of doing that. And you can even keep that in the private without KYC if you do it in a PMA and you use private individuals to send crypto to and receive cash from. Because there are private, autonomous, and manual exchanges that make that happen. And then there's the Liberty Dollar, where with the Liberty Dollar, your money goes in, silver is bought, it's held, it keeps its value, it's inflation proof, And when you need money, there is an interface with the public, the governmental registered garbage, in that they will transfer money to your PayPal or Vimeo account. Vimeo is probably a little less tattling. And that allows you to get your value out in a form you can take out to dinner, you can buy gas, you can buy whatever you need in the rest of the world. But when you're not spending it, your wealth is preserved. So lots of benefits in the private, and you'll find the most wealthy, the most intelligent people, the people who are really cued in, they don't do business in the public. Maybe you've heard of private foundations. Somehow they're not even answerable to Congress. Think about that, because we do cover that in other parts of this course. Now, having established our legal documentations, our appropriate tax identification numbers, our proper filings, whether that's public or private, and there's a way to do nonprofit PMAs in the private that don't have reporting requirements of any kind, we now are ready to move forward. We can open our bank accounts, and we can open our payment gateways. We can acquire the services of places like Stripe and PayPal and Vimeo or anything else out there to structure it according to the previous decisions we made in the structuring of our business. And when we open our accounts, it's not in our names, it's in our business names, or it's in our PMA names and under those tax identification numbers, because again, we want to own nothing but control everything. That's basically the best place to be in this system. And with our payment gateways and services set up, our accounts to receive the money set up, now it's time to go set up our sales page, because we can plug in the payment options, the buttons, all the information. We can use our keyword research. We know our customer, and we have defined our value clearly, and we're able to put it down on a sales page. And it doesn't matter. You don't need a whole website. You don't. You just need a sales page. We're not trying to do the corporate thing and have all these other pages. You may want to have an About Us and a Fact page, but basically all you really need is a really good sales page. And in the beginning, it may be very simplistic, as like a picture or two and some text on a white background. But as you grow, you will evolve and improve this process, as we will show you in this lesson. It will grow and evolve with you and become better and better. You'll do A/B testing and use only the most effective means that you learn for the customer base that you're reaching. So it is basically like a living document. It grows and evolves with you. Imperfect and done is always superior to trying to make it perfect but not ever getting finished. And now, one of the most exciting parts is the Manifest Business Meditation. This is where, now that our business is out there, we've opened the door, we can go into the meditative, prayerful space, and we can literally watch the quantum machines just start flowing traffic to us. People just magically find us. It's really interesting to listen to the testimonies of people who just magically find your business, and suddenly you're making sales and you haven't spent $1 on advertising. And that's how you really know you're in this paradigm shift of a whole new way of doing business. And it's so stress-free and lovely and wonderful, because it almost always comes with glowing testimonies, people that are praising what you've done and are actually grateful for you and your service. And this is a very good place to be, and of course that's where I would like for everybody to start with, because you can literally succeed very much in your personal growth with this system. So again, if you haven't learned to do meditation, you can't sit for 20 to 40 minutes without distracting thoughts or falling asleep. You really need to, you have to get that done, and you have to learn how to do the business manifestation meditation. And so now, having done our meditation, we're starting to get people to flow in. We're engaging people with comments and questions online. We're getting customers. We're inviting feedback. We're asking. We're listening very careful to what it is they're saying. And we begin to adjust our keywords and our language. We make sure we update our keywords on our website, all of our content. We adjust our sales page to more clearly communicate as we hear back from our customers what it is they're thinking, what it is that appeals to them. We use that language built in to our sales page to more clearly communicate that offer, because you see, it's the people who are already buying from you that are your ideal customer. They get put way up high over the person who's just kind of, trolling a little bit online or halfway awake, kind of sort of listening to your ad. But once you start getting actual sales, you encourage the feedback, you engage those people, you offer calls, you talk to them, you invite them into Zooms where you get group calls, and you really listen and you do your market research that you're going to use to refine everything that you do and even how you speak. And then using that data, we can, if we choose to fast start our business, we can put somewhere between $100 and $300 into Google AdWords, and we can put highly focused advertising out there using the feedback from our ideal customers, people who have already bought our product, and we'll find more people like that. And as long as we measure the results and we're careful to not let Google just piss our money away by showing the ad to everybody, but we have super specific targeted words and people, then we're going to increase our sales. And if what we're spending on ads minus all of our expenses and sales still brings us a profit that's actually worth it, we can just increase that spending and therefore increase the amount of income. That's scaling. And yes, that's conventional business, and there's nothing wrong with mixing that in there. And it is certainly a good way to get the ball rolling so that you get more customers and more feedback, and you grow more and improve your sales page and your wording even more. It just continues to snowball and get larger and larger and more successful. And you could think of it as a way of actually earning money to get paid to do market research, as opposed to paying a company potentially tens of thousands of dollars to do half-hearted research for you. And now with all this set up, we begin producing lots of content. We get it out there. The majority of this, of course, is going to be focused on producing the video content, how to run the cameras. We'll show you the equipment you need to use, the lighting, the settings on the camera so you can make professional looking video. I'm shooting outdoors today. We got the diffused light from the clouds, so it's good lighting. I'm not using anything special. Probably I should have a reflector or something over here or a light to make this perfect. But people don't always want to see perfect. They would often rather have a little actual human connection, not a super spit and polished sales fluff piece. So perfect production is not always necessary. In fact, very often it's not. But I believe it is important to always aspire to excellence in everything that we do. So we're going to be covering those aspects of how to produce the video, and then the aspects and parts you use will be fine. But if you want to go full on, super professional, focused, proper color depth, color corrective, good lighting, and you want to make that look beautiful, cinematic, and perfect, by all means do so. And as we produce the content, we've got to reach out to other influencers, other bloggers, e-magazines, anywhere that we can produce content and get them to link back to our website. That increases the SEO scoring, the search engines, and therefore the more natural traffic we get back to our webpage. It's a much slower process just trying to build backlinks, but it's critical, and so we're going to spend a lot of time looking for and discerning what content has overlapping interest where we can bring value to someone else and their customers in exchange for backlinks back to our offer. And that's a value for value exchange. And often you can volunteer to do work, you can volunteer to improve articles. Sometimes you can even find paid positions where people are just having you write fluff to draw more content to another site. But we're going to actually make the effort, and that's probably going to be a larger part of where we spend a lot of our time at that point in our business process, to build up our reputation and our scoring so that more people are naturally drawn on the natural level. Now, when you go supernatural and you do manifesting, it does kind of push all that to the side, but we still want to do our best practice. Now, as this whole process is about personal growth, business changes, the way search engines change. We have to always stay alert for what's working. Like right now, if you do, because of live broadcast, potentially news broadcast being more relevant than pre-recorded content, if you broadcast your content as live, you get higher scores. You get your picture up in the rankings on the regular Google search engine and higher on YouTube because it's live and more relevant. And that's one of the little search engine optimization features at this time you can use. So we need to stay in tune with what those things are as they happen so we can adjust everything that we're doing to make sure we're staying functional within the systems we're using. So you're going to need to subscribe to reputable people who openly share things. Neil Patel, for example, he has a digital marketing agency, but he also shares the essence of everything that he does. He just also offers to do it for you should you want to pay him to do it. But by subscribing and kind of paying attention to what the latest of everything is, and if you have 3, 6, or 9 subscriptions to really good, relevant people, you will stay up to date with things that you really need to change and improve to stay relevant in the search engines. So again, as we're growing, our page is growing, our search engine optimization is growing. This is a living process. And now, as even more sales come in, reach out even harder, get some social proof, because when people come along, you know, like, I don't know you, am I really going to give you my credit card number? Are you going to rip me off? Is this product real? Is it fake, or do you not deliver? Are other people doing this? You know, there is a herd mentality. So you want to have social proof. Because it helps people make a decision for or against. Neither one's wrong, but it helps them make a decision. So when you put real feedback, real testimonies, and ratings for your product on your site with photos and text, again, that carries a real, honest, vibrational energy to the universe and other people. It's best to not cheat in this area, but to have real, live, and honest reviews. So be collecting those reviews, updating your sales page again, that growing, living process on that page to include video testimony, written testimony, audio testimony, group testimonies, Zoom testimonies, whatever it is you can get on there. Get other people who are benefiting from the value you're bringing them to share how they benefited, why they chose to buy it, and why it was worth it. That really helps settle the doubts. And of course, you know, you can offer money back refunds. You can do things to lower the risk threshold so that people can try your product. It's a service. It's part of the service that we offer so that people can make a decision. And there are many products in my life that if there hadn't have been an ad and enough information for me to make a decision, I would have actually missed out on some amazing things that I use daily in my life that make my life richer and better and more enjoyable. So it was very much a good service to me to have those testimonies, to have that feedback, to have information and different points of view so I could make a decision, yes, I'm going to try this. And that's basically why we do this. And once you finish all the lessons in this session, you should have an up and running business. And we're going to include a chapter or a lesson which is going to be a fast finish session. This is using paraliminal technology, high-speed speech, meditation, and binaural beats. It's not about consciously perceiving it, it's just about relaxing and getting the entire summation of all of the knowledge taught in this chapter, in this part of the course, laid down in a track that just flows into your conscience, separated for both the logical and creative side of the brain. It just really helps cement in everything that you need to do. In fact, it seems a little weird at first, a little unnatural, but once you get tuned into a fast finish session in paraliminal technology, you realize that that little 20-30 minute high-speed fast finish session basically just downloads everything that you need to know into your brain about this entire section of the course, and then it will just naturally begin to surface and resonate with you when you see these things in action. It's a beautiful way to finish off a beautiful section, and it's my sincerest desire that when you finish this, you've actually followed along and you've created some random new product you had never thought of, and you actually have money in your hand and in your account from this practice session. Even if it's just a few dollars, it doesn't matter, because this process is the exact process you're going to use to create every other type of business. So with that, I look forward to seeing you in the rest of this lesson.